Hey everyone, how's it going? As the year is now coming to an end, I wanted to take the opportunity to put together a video just to really talk about two things in particular. Firstly, a important milestone that the channel reached earlier this year, and secondly, to talk about a few plans that I have in mind for the upcoming year. So, first things first, the important milestone. Now, a few months ago, I believe it was back in, when was it, September, that the channel reached an important milestone in that we managed to gain over 1,000 subscribers. And I just want to take the time to say thank you to all of you that have watched videos, shared them, subscribed, commented on them. It's great to see that people have enjoyed the content. And I'll be honest, with some mental health issues that I have to deal with, I do wonder sometimes when I look at my videos and think, why on earth would anyone want to watch this? But you guys speak for yourselves, and I just want to say thank you. It's really great to see. And I hope you guys continue to enjoy the content as we go into the new year. And again, just thank you. Now, I know if I keep going on about this, I'm just going to keep saying thank you, and keep embarrassing myself. So let's go straight into the second part of the video, which is to talk about my plans for next year. Now, I've given it a bit of thought, and there's three things in particular that I would like to try and do with the channel. Now, there's no particular timetable for these. I'll get around to them as I'll get around to them. Some of them probably more earlier than others. But here are the three things. Firstly, I do want to try and promote more engagement with you guys. So not only between myself and you, but also between yourselves as a community, and try and build a bigger community on the channel. Now, I know I've taken my first stumbling steps along that path by, well, you guys know already that I enjoy getting comments from you guys, and I respond to all of them when I can. And also, especially with the more recent Warhammer campaigns, that I've got it so you guys can submit, names for units and characters for me to use in my campaigns, and I just like the fact that it makes it more personal. There's nothing quite like watching your hero fighting along a legendary lord while on the front line, or watching a valiant attack by one of your units. It just really makes it a bit more personal for you guys to watch, as well as for me as well, to actually have units rather than just Reiksguard unit number 2 or something like that. But I do want to try and make a bit more of an effort when it comes to engagement. So what has come to mind after giving it some thought is two things in particular. One is to try and build a Discord server and create it for you guys to join. Now, I have to be honest, I have joined a couple of servers and communities on Discord, but I don't really engage in them. I'm a little bit of a lurker. So I do need to look into how to basically build one up properly, and also try and theme it so you guys can give me ideas and then about what you would like to see. So a few things that have already come to mind is just like general discourse, a place for maybe people to do tabletop RPGs if they want it, as well as I know one or two people have asked me about fan art. So maybe a place for people to share their drawings and things, not just from anything on the channel, but other stuff. And just build a proper community center on there. Now, that's still sort of early days, but I would like to do something like that. And also Twitter. Now, I did have a Twitter account on the channel, which ended up, because of basically me not really using it, being one of those Twitter feeds where it's just basically, so-and-so, Warrior Angel has uploaded this video right now. And I don't want to do that. I want to see about maybe creating one which will allow me to engage with you guys more, as well as being able to do things like get in touch with game developers, other content creators, and basically build up a bit from there. So, again, still really early days to think about, but something I would like to try and do. Now, I do have the opportunity as well to talk about the elephant in the room when it comes to viewer engagement as a creator, and that is Patreon. Now, I have had a couple of people ask me over the time about Patreon. Do I have one? Because they would like to offer me some, a donation towards my channel. Do I plan to have one? That sort of thing. And I have to be honest, I do feel a bit on and off about the idea of Patreon, Mainly because I know if I did do it, that one, I wouldn't be able to do like a number of YouTubers do who can dedicate time and effort to a full-time, commitment on their channels, whereas mine's more part-time hobby, to be able to do stuff like offer different tiers of rewards and stuff like that. Instead, all I'd be able to do is something like, officially Devon is probably the best example. He's the guy and he's the only one I actually donate money to through Patreon. And how he has it is basically any money you want to give is quite happy. He's happy with it. But if you pay over to $5, you get access to his database thing full of an online drive full of things like stuff for his narrative let's plays, his game has been whitened and stuff like that. So I probably would do something like that. But at the same time, I don't know about necessarily doing it with my current content, because I do feel that if I was going to accept donations from viewers, I would want to make it so it was actually more personal, like stuff I've actually put time and effort into creating, rather than just doing a standard let's play. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments, I guess is the best way of putting it. I know I feel a bit weird if I was just doing what I'm doing at the moment. So yeah, I suppose it's something for me to consider at some point. But that's the first bit. The second bit, talking about wanting to sort of create something, is in the past I've talked a lot about doing something like narrative let's plays, which I do admit I really like the idea. I've always enjoyed making stories and creating stories and characters growing up, and it's something I still enjoy. And using video games as a media to do that is a fantastic idea. It's why I've sort of latched on to seeing things like narrative let's plays, or when I watch role plays from people like Vicon role plays and stuff like that. I think they're a fantastic idea, and I would love to do something like that more on the channel. Now it does mean though I'm going to have to spend time and effort to make the content, so it's not going to be a regular thing. It will take a while for me to come together and actually put it together. But I would love to be able to do something like that and tell my own stories through video game media. Now there's quite a few ways of doing it, with narrative let's plays for example, where I take a game like Crusader Kings, Total War, and games like that, and tell a story through the events. And I've already got a few ideas and attempts in the past that you can see with things like the Phoenix Rises and the Tale of Two Cities on the channel. But there are games out there I would love to try and do, like XCOM and things like that. And not only that, but I would love to try and do games like role-playing. So we'd be able to do Skyrim roleplays and Fallout, and even ones like Dishonored, Half-Life, games like that. But there are also games that I feel could be a mixture of the two. So something like, for example, I really like the idea of playing this war of mine and actually writing an account as a survivor of the war and telling their story, things like that, which are much more intimate. Not talking about vast armies fighting, but the lives of a few people. And as well with things like Mordheim would make a good addition as well, a small warband with characters that you guys will know and watch grow. That would be a fantastic idea, and I would love to do more stuff like that on the channel in the future. So that's definitely something I want to try and work on this year. If I start doing more than that, then maybe we could look into doing like Patreon or something, but I'll be honest, that's not even anywhere near my top goals right now to worry about Patreon. But again, creating stories and telling them myself, I would love to do more of that on the channel itself. And then finally, I guess this is really sort of two parts when I think about it. Firstly, excuse me, still dealing with this cough that I got from this cold over Christmas. But yeah, my third thing is really split into two things as well. One, I would be tempted to like to try and do more content on the channel in terms of variety. So firstly, there's things I could try and do like vlogs or reviews. I know one of the most popular videos on my channel of all time is my installation guide for Corsa Belli, which is a mod for Empire Total War that provides a variety of new units to smaller factions like the Knights of St. John and Persia and things like that. So maybe doing installation guides or top fives, vlogs, that sort of thing could be quite interesting to do. So that's something I would like to consider. But also, talking about variety, oh, and live streaming. Definitely would like to try and get into live streaming. Nothing too serious. But maybe the thing that's come to mind right now is like a nice, relaxing Sunday stream where we can do something like play RimWorld or Surviving Mars, Stellaris, Crusader Kings, something like that. And just have a nice, relaxing day of, for a couple of hours, you guys, being able to talk to me in the comments, we can chat, we can have a laugh, we can give me advice, especially on things like Crusader Kings, because I know that's a game that people have asked about to appear on the channel, so, hey, any advice there would be appreciated. But not only just with variety with the types of videos, but also with the games as well. Now, my channel is quite, well, people come to the channel because of the Total War content, mostly. But when I designed the channel years back, when I first created it, I had the goal of having two halves to the channel. One half for Total War, and the other half for any other game really that caught my fancy. Now, I have stuck to that fairly well during the past few years, like things like, as you can see on my channel, you got everything on there from, different Total War campaigns to things like the Tomb Raider series, or Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Life is Strange 2, I've just finished the final episode of the game earlier a few weeks ago, a couple of days ago actually. When was it? It's this weird period between Christmas and New Year, where everything seems to roll into one and you don't know what day it is. But yeah, I finished it the weekend, about 9 days ago. There we go, that was it. But yeah, I would just like to be able to try and do more different types of games. Now, strategy games, of course, will be quite a popular one, I imagine, with things like, Command and Conquer or StarCraft and things like that. But there are plenty of games. In fact, if I pop up my list on screen now, you can see just the amount of different games I would love to try and do on the channel at some point. Everything from Soulsborne, which I think will be really fun to do, because to be honest, I've never actually got too far in any of them, and I would love to try and give it a go. But also to check out things like Mass Effect, where I can tell the story of my own Shepard, and the events and roleplay a little bit with that, or Dragon Age, even retro games. I would love to try and do. There were games I remember growing up, right, on like Tenchu. Anyone remember Tenchu on the PlayStation 1 and 2? Yeah? Thing where you played as Rikimaru or Yame, the assassins, the ninja. Yeah, I would love to do those on the channel. I think they are fantastic games with a good story. And so that is a plan as well for this year. Now, what I would love to have as well is get your feedback about those plans. Is there anything you like? Anything you dislike? Let me know in the comments. Because, like I said, it's always great to hear from you guys, and I always appreciate your feedback. But that's really enough of me talking. I realize I've talked a bit longer than I actually expected to. So let me just end the video by saying I hope you all enjoy the New Year celebrations, whatever you're doing, whether you're staying at home like I am, or going out getting blindingly drunk and snogging a stranger for New Year's when the midnight bell goes. I hope you guys enjoy your evening, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the new year. So, for me, take care, and goodbye for now.